what you want. Say yeah. Need some old school love. Say yeah. Wish you had a switch that you could hit, let her know what you with.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Tanya, back with another video. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Tanya. How you doing? Make sure you subscribe, because if you're not, what are you doing? If you're returning, hi, hello, I missed you. Today I'm gonna be making some cheesy, flavorful, tasty, make you want to have an orgasm lasagna. Period. Tasty lasagna. Just know it's gonna taste good. Feel me? So if any of you guys want to try it, I put you on. Feel me? So I'm gonna be showing you guys the ingredients I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using ground beef, and I'm gonna be using Italian sausage. I feel like Italian sausage, it brings out the flavor in the lasagna. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm gonna be using the spicy one. And you're gonna need your lasagna. You can't make lasagna without the lasagna noodles. What is lasagna without the noodles? You can't make lasagna without the noodles. I mean, because you need the noodles, right? You need the noodles, for real. And I'm gonna be using 4 cheese Mexican. I'm gonna be using this cheese. I'm gonna use whole milk mozzarella cheese. I'm just gonna be shredding this one. I'm gonna shred it myself. That's a shred. Grate it myself. I'm gonna grate it myself. And I know a lot of you guys probably gonna come for me because I'm putting this in it, but I'm gonna be using ricotta cheese. I know not many people like ricotta cheese, but I like my lasagna with ricotta cheese. I don't know, I feel like it just brings the flavor out in the lasagna. You could use 1, you could use 2. Me, I like mine to actually be like a full layer of the lasagna, so I have 2 of this. So this is the ricotta cheese I'm using. And then you're gonna need sauce. Obviously, you can't make lasagna with no sauce, no cheese, no meat, you know. So I'm gonna be using, I could never say this word, like, I could never say this word. I'm about to try saying it for you. Look, I can't say this word. Marinara, y'all get the gist. Y'all know what sauce I'm using, you know. And then I'm gonna be using eggs. So without me holding you guys up, let's just get straight into this video so I can show you guys how I'm about to make this lasagna. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I am going to be cutting up the sausage. I'm gonna be taking the skin off of it because I don't really like it with the skin. I'm gonna finish cut it up, and then after that I'm going to mash everything up. Yes, I did wash my hands, so nobody better not come in them comments talking about, oh my gosh, she didn't wash her hands. I most definitely did wash my hands, and this is my food. Just a reminder, it is my food. Now I'm going to mash everything up just so I could get everything to cook evenly and everything could cook properly. I don't want any uncooked meat. You're gonna go ahead and grab that onion. You're gonna take that onion, add a little bit of olive oil. That is my favorite oil right now. You could use any oil of your choice. I just love olive oil. I cut it into medium small pieces. I'm just gonna let this onion cook thoroughly, just so that I'm not hearing, you know, no crunchy sounds. You don't gotta cook yours thoroughly. I cook mine thoroughly. It's really up to you, your preference. I just love mine where it's completely well done, because if I'm being honest, I don't even like onions, so I have to make sure it's completely cooked all the way. As you guys can see, it's completely cooked. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my meat. Now I'm going to add my sausage. I'm going to add the sausage first just so that it could cook halfway, because sausage does take longer to cook than beef because it is pork. I'm going to let that cook first, and then I'll go ahead and add the ground beef. I'm just going to let this cook into like a medium-ish, you know, not fully cooked kind of meat. So I'm going to have it medium well done, and then that's when I go ahead and add the ground beef. So I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. I am gonna chop it up just a little bit, so when everything is done, I'm not really giving myself too much work to chop up, because I do want the meat to be as small as possible so this lasagna could taste as good, like I told y'all in the beginning. So as you guys can see, this meat is fully cooked, fully well done. I chopped it as small as possible. I don't think it's gonna get any smaller than this. I did it as small as possible. You guys can see, like, there's not much water left. Everything is pretty much dried up. Everything is pretty much ready to go. Now here comes my fun part. My fun part is, you know, making that little sauce. So I'm gonna add my marinara. See how I can't say that word? Y'all see how I can't say it again? Y'all know what sauce I'm using, because I told you already. I'm gonna be pouring in that sauce, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what seasonings I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna go ahead and add my Italian seasoning. We're gonna put a little speck of, we're gonna put a little extra of this one, because it has it's Italian seasoning, so it's really good for pasta. That cayenne pepper, you gotta put a little spice into this lasagna. You gotta put a little bit of into this lasagna. So I'm gonna put this cayenne pepper. As you guys can see, the bottle wasn't letting me be great. I did want to put more than this, but it's like the bottle wouldn't. I don't know. This bottle wasn't. I have no idea what it was doing, but I'm gonna put a little bit of cayenne pepper, paprika. That's gonna give your food a nice little pepper. Y'all be sleeping on paprika, but it's gonna give your food a little bit of taste. Garlic powder. I'm telling y'all use that garlic powder. Use that garlic powder. I'm telling you. We're gonna add some water, because how else are you gonna mix all of this together? So I'm gonna add in some water. There's not really a specific amount that you have to use. You just want to eyeball it a little bit. Then I'm gonna mix this all together to see what it's looking like, what it's tasting like, what it's giving, what is it, just mix that thing together. As you guys can see, it's not as saucy like I want it to be, so I am going to add another bottle of sauce. Do y'all see how good this is already coming together? And that's not even all the seasonings I'm gonna be using. Like, y'all see how well this is already looking? Like, look at that. It just looks so juicy. Like, come on now. I'm gonna add some all-purpose seasoning, because I felt like it was still missing a little bit of something. So I don't want to hear nobody saying that I'm putting way too much salt, way too much seasonings, whatever the case may be. But for your lasagna to be good, you need to make sure that meat is seasoned to perfection. You need to make sure that that meat has all of the seasoning it needs, because if it doesn't, the lasagna is not going to be the way you want it to be. It's not going to come out the way you want it to be. You need to have some, I'm telling you, you need a lot of seasonings. I'm not saying to give yourself no hypertension, but you need a lot of seasonings. I'm going to go ahead and grab my bay leaf. I'm going to add at least 2 leaves of the bay leaf. And then after that, I am going to add a sugar. I am going to add sugar. You're supposed to put like at least a little pinch, but I put more than a little pinch because I feel like I had 2 different type of meats, 2 packs of meat. So I feel like it needed more than a pinch of sugar. So I am going to be putting a little bit of sugar, at least a tablespoon of sugar, not too much, but sugar really does take that bitterness out of your pasta. I'm just gonna mix this in, and I'm just gonna let this simmer for about like 45 minutes. I am gonna check on it from time to time just to make sure the taste is still there, just to make sure everything is going as it's supposed to. While this is cooking up, I'm gonna move on to making the ricotta cheese. I don't know why this bottle was making my life harder than it had to be. It just would not come out of the jar. Like, it was making my life harder than it had to be. I don't know. It didn't want me to eat it. Like, but I am going to be adding 2 bottles of this ricotta cheese. Y'all probably like, oh my gosh, ew. But like I told you guys in the beginning, I just love that ricotta cheese in my lasagna. I want at least a very thick layer, a really, really thick layer, just so you could see it, like actually see it when it's cooked. So I'm going to be adding 2 bottles of the ricotta cheese. And after I finish add the 2 bottles, I'm going to add my shredded Parmesan cheese. I'm going to put a little handful of this one, not too much, but I am going to put a little itty bitty handful of it. And then the next thing I'm going to be adding is some salt. I'm not going to be putting a lot of salt, literally just a dash of salt, a little pinch of salt. I put 2 pinches, but don't pay me any mind. Just a pinch, 3 pinches. I put about 3 pinches of salt. 4. Wow, Tanya. I put 4 pinches of, I'm not going to count that one. 4 pinches of salt. Then we're going to add some ground nutmeg. I am going to put a little bit of this one because I feel like the nutmeg gives that ricotta cheese the little that it's supposed to be having. And then I'm going to add some black pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of handful of this one. Y'all going to see how much I'm going to put. I'm not really measuring how much seasoning I'm putting. I'm really just eyeballing this whole entire thing. I feel like you should know when to stop, if that makes sense. Then I'm going to mix all of this together. After I finish mix that up well, I'm going to put 1 brown egg. It doesn't have to be a brown egg, that's just what I had. I'm gonna add that in, and then wow, bro, not the eggshell, like, are you? I'm gonna add in the egg, then I'm going to mix that in really, really well. You do not want your ricotta cheese to have a little piece of egg on the side of it. That is just nasty. I'm gonna mix this up, beat it up really, really, really well. Like, I want you to beat this thing so well like your life depends on it. Because when I tell you, you do not want to have a piece of egg, a piece of yolk in your mouth while you're eating this ricotta. You just want to make sure this is really mixed in really, really well, because when I tell you do not want that to happen, you do not want that to happen. Please beat it like your life depends on it, because I'm beating it like my life depends on it. I have my water boiling. Now I'm going to be adding the lasagna noodle. You just want to kind of just put it in there. You don't really want to push it into the pot because the lasagna is going to fall by itself while it's boiling. You do not want no cracked up noodles, because I definitely do not want no cracked up noodles. So you want your lasagna to be fully, if you want a full noodle. So you want a full noodle, you can't just be pushing up in there. Let your food do its thing. When I tell you food has a mind of its own, let your food cook by itself. Just let it cook. Leave it be. Just put it in there. It's going to fall by itself. I promise you. Now you're going to put in a little bit of salt, not too much, just to give that noodle just a little bit of taste to it. While you're eating it, you're going to realize the taste that I'm talking about. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil just so the noodles do not stick together, because it is going to be a hassle when you're trying to take them apart. Now I'm actually up to my favorite part. I'm not gonna lie to you, you do want to cook these noodles for about like 7 to 10 minutes. You do not want to overcook them, because while it's in the oven, it is going to be cooking basically all over again. You do not want it to be completely soft when you're making the layers, because that means when you put it in the oven, it's going to be really, really soft, and you do not want that. I mean, unless that's how you like your lasagna, but I do not want it to be so soft, and I don't want it like that in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm just going to be layering the lasagna. It is so easy. You put noodles, meat, cheese, noodles, meat, cheese. Like, the layers is so easy. You want to layer this properly because you do not want no lopsided lasagna. Because who wants a lopsided lasagna? I don't want a lopsided lasagna. I wouldn't eat a lopsided lasagna. So I need to make sure that mine is not a lopsided lasagna. I'm gonna add in my mozzarella cheese. I am gonna make sure, you know, I have a lot of cheese on my lasagna because I am going for a very cheesy lasagna. If you guys can't tell, I love cheese, so I picked mozzarella because mozzarella is like a very stringy cheese. So I'm making sure that I put enough of that mozzarella on there because, you know, cheese is what's gonna make your lasagna also taste good. Next, I'm going to add another layer of lasagna. Then I'm going to be adding my meat. I'm gonna make sure it's very meaty up in this lasagna. I'm gonna start putting my ricotta cheese. Like I told you guys, I want a very thick layer so you could actually see the ricotta cheese when you cut into the lasagna. I'm making a very thick layer, so I want this whole entire thing to be covered. I want this entire thing to be, you know, covered to the point where you can't even see the meat. I just want to see white, just white everywhere. I want it to be completely covered. You want to make sure it's completely covered. Then I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm just kind of gonna make it even looking. I'm gonna make it even because remember I told you I do not want any lopsided lasagna. I want my lasagna to be very much even. And then I'm going to add some mixed cheese on top of the ricotta cheese. After my mixed Mexican cheese, I'm going to be adding some shredded mozzarella cheese. This is the cheese that I actually shredded myself. And I'm going to be putting another layer of lasagna. This is going to be my last layer. This is going to be my last layer of everything. I was running out of meat, but I made it work. I'm just going to be putting my lasagna, my meat, and then my last of cheese.
Entertainment. Entertainment.
Everything is pretty much done. Now I'm just going to be throwing this up in the oven for at least about 15 to 20 minutes at 375. That's the degree that I'm going to be putting it to. I don't want it to look overcooked. I don't want it to be burnt. So I'm just going to put this in the oven for 15 through 20 minutes. The moment that I have been waiting for is finally here. This lasagna is finally done. I got my fork ready. Took out my plate already. I couldn't wait for it to let it sit. I just had to take it out like now. I couldn't let it sit. So that's why like it's all, you know, messy. But this looks so good, you guys. Tell me this don't look good. This looks so good. Tell me it don't. Please. Tell me it don't. This looks so good. Now time for the taste test. I have to taste it to see what it's tasting like. Like, this thing looks so freaking good. This is just, I'm just freaking amazed right now. Like, why am I waving the fork like this? Let me just dig in and taste this. The first spoon, I'm already trying to dirty myself. Like, what's going on here? This tastes so damn good. It comes down to the cheese. It comes down to the Italian sausages that I have put in it, the spiciness. Like, it's just so good. Look at that cheese, like. That little bit of cayenne pepper. Ooh. This is just so damn good. Let me just get one more bite so I could close out this video. One more. Because if I don't stop myself now, I'm gonna end up eating this whole thing on camera. Okay. That's it. That's it. What did I tell ya at the beginning of the video? I told you this was gonna be cheesy, making you want to have an orgasm type of lasagna. And this is exactly as I described. Like, this tastes so damn good. Oh, it came out better than I expected. Like, it makes me want to run a mile right now. This tastes so good, and I hope you guys try it. No exaggeration. Like, this, I can't even explain the taste that it had. It was cheap. It was just so good. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you can be notified every single time I post a video. And if you guys want more videos like this, comment down below, and I'll just, you know, cook it up in the kitchen. Like, bring you guys along with me in the kitchen, because your girl just be shuffling it up in here, and that's on period. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.
That you want. Say yeah. Need some old school love. Say yeah. Wish you had a switch that you could hit, let her know what you with.